Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Faralo Realty and our project building in El Salvador virtually. That's correct. So a lot of stuff coming up on this segment and in future videos. There's a lot of progress going on down in El Salvador with our bill, and as you can see on this video, well, it's coming along just nicely. Okay, let's get on to it. First off, I guess I should say, for those of you who are watching this channel and posting comments, questions, we really do appreciate it. We want to apologize beforehand if we're sort of, taking our time replying. It's not that we're taking our time, or being late in responding to your comments. It is just that Lynn and I actually do have work to do here as well in Canada. We are real estate agents. And so as you can imagine, in the present market, we are extremely busy, helping clients, getting new clients, and so forth. So if we're taking a little long in responding to your comments or questions, please apologies. We will get back to you as soon as I can, and I will get back to you. Okay, it doesn't matter how long it takes, but you will get a response. Okay, and if for whatever reason, a month goes by and you don't get anything, just ping me again. Okay, I will get to you anyhow. So let's get to it. On this segment, you can see that the workers, the builder, are basically finishing pretty much the finishing touches on the parging on the interior and outside of the structure of the house. So there's the shed again. But we do have some good video of this, the progress on the shed this time around, because it just seems to be taking a bit long. Okay, so there is the clay brick that is being utilized throughout this entire build. Okay, not the main structure, but all the things on the outside. As you can see on previous videos, we've used clay brick for the main columns on the outside porch. The porch floor is going to be, we are going to use clay brick to do the actual flooring. You'll see the fireplace also is going to be built of clay brick, and so on. The septic tank, as you can see right now, it's pretty much done. Now the workers are burying it. Okay, that's what it is. Now you saw the gentleman right there doing the pounding manually with his homemade tool, just like the guy over there at the end inside. He's doing the same thing, right? They're not doing the entire compacting of the ground, the surroundings. It's not entirely being done like that. They do have machines. They do have a couple of compactors, one roller, which they do use to compact the general area. It's just that once in a while in El Salvador, they tend to use for specific areas one tool of their choice, and usually it seems to be something that they made at home. So there you have it, but it works. So I'm showing you this particular feed here, where I'm showing the builder explaining to him in regards to something inside the house. Okay, what needs to be done or what needs to be changed, or slightly adjusted, for example. Okay, as we go on with the process of the build. The reason why you do this is because a lot of times an audio message, definitely a text message, just is not sufficient enough. On that same token, you see here that we also had to send this sort of feed to him, giving him specific measures. We try to make it as easy as possible by replicating what we have at home so that he can build it. Well, not himself, because he's not the carpenter. This would be the kitchen, but he passes that along to his subcontractor, right? The carpenter. So he gets the measurements. He can see the measurements. We explain to him exactly, the details, and at the same time, he can get a good idea of what the end result is supposed to look like. That is the basis of this. Okay, so there is Lynn trying to get some measurements of our existing kitchen, and so there you have it. With the builder, the problem, not the problem, a small issue would be that they use some terminology that just doesn't exist in the English language once you do the translation. So even for myself, who that speaks the language Spanish fluently, I can't really sometimes make sense or don't understand what sort of terminology he's using regarding a build or a way they're going to build it. So anyhow, and so that is when we really need to do something and ensure that he understands our expectation of what we want and how we want it built. Okay, and therefore we need to send now video segments explaining and showing him. Okay, this is the ensuite bathroom for the primary bedroom here, and this is the beauty about the builder, and that's Don Vicente right there, is that whenever he is not quite sure, not 100% about even the smallest little thing, measurements, the look it's going to have, the finish that it's going to have, whatever, he actually gets back to us right away before he even continues, which is great. And that's the way really it should be everywhere, right? But it's not, and we all know this. Some builders just go ahead and guess what, we'll just adjust it later on, redo it or whatever. So here he is discussing basically the height of the tile that is going to go on the walls, because we are going to want tile, right? Now he's asking this because according to him that be the height right about there where the tile is going to finish. Why? Because in El Salvador, for the most part, people whenever they build a washroom, a bathroom, whenever they build a kitchen or something like that, if you really pay attention to a lot of the video blogs or even of properties that are for sale, and they show the kitchen, the washrooms, the tile work is exactly like that. It ends about 3/4 of the way up. Okay, so that's what he's confirming, right? So he's asking, so right about here, this is where we're going to pretty much finish, right? The tile work and things like that. But that's not exactly what we want. Okay, our idea was to know if we're going to put tile, then we encase the entire, say, shower area. That's going not that one right there, but the previous area that he was showing. That's the shower area. We want it encased in tile, and not just halfway or 3/4 of the way up. We want it all the way up. Okay, and so as you can see, he's explaining, right, like where he thinks that tile should go. There he's just letting us know that the window, and that's the shower window, the bathroom window, it will be pretty much aligned directly center with the toilet. Okay, which is also something that we wanted. The size of that window we had to adjust a little bit during the course of the build, because initially, for whatever reason, he misread the print on the plan, and it was going to be just a bit smaller than that, which to us made no sense. And I got this one mosquito hanging around here anyway, so sorry about that. And so you can understand, or I hope you understand, the why I'm showing you this particular segment with the builder, Don Vicente, because he really needs to show you, like any other builder that you may hire in the future in El Salvador, if you are going to build, that he needs to know, he needs to understand that they cannot, as the builder, they can't carry on with anything and just expecting or assuming that that's probably how you want it. The beauty about Don Vicente, builder, is that he asks and he actually communicates his anything, his concerns, questions, anything like that. And so we keep receiving video feeds on, with questions posed. Here, for example, he's explaining that one of the main columns that's going to be outside in the porch, it's going to be this height. The point that he's trying to get across on this one here is that as you see the floor seems to be in segments, right? Partitions. Well, he thought that at some point the floor was going to be directly level with the floor in the interior of the house. Like, see, he's showing right there, right? And that, excuse us, that to us is it's a no-no. Why? Well, firstly, because there should be they should not be level with the main interior floors. Things to do with, for example, water. Wintertime in El Salvador, it does tend to blow a little bit, and even up in the mountains when it rains sometimes, it comes with a little bit of a breeze. So you don't want the outside floor for the porch being level with it, because the water is going to get in there. And so here is when we had to ensure that he understood that we did not want that level. We wanted 1 or 2 levels below. Okay. So we got that. He understood in the end, and so they carry on with it. There you go. There's a little step, and that's basically how it's going to be about that height. So the porch area now is taking shape. Okay. And you see the guy right over there basically smashing those blocks. Well, that's what I mean about sometimes, and it does happen. Still, they think, because they build porches before, obviously, they build floors and things, outdoor floors for a porch. They figure that, well, it's probably going to go like this, right? So they started building this little retaining sort of whatever wall, and thinking that there was going to be a step. And we said, you can't really have a step there if you're thinking of, for example, having this floor, the entire porch, and giving it just a slight ever slight slope for water drainage, right? It has to have some level. So when you take the measurements, that it ends up actually being almost level at the back part, but then slightly ever gradually sloping down a bit. And so that's the part that he needed to understand. You would think that would be a given, but a lot of times it isn't. And down there, they want to build things, as level as possible, as flat, as finished, as smooth. And then sometimes you kind of miss these little things about, for example, water drainage. Anyhow, here they finally are continuing with the work on the shed. This is going to be our shed. Okay, why do we need a shed down there? Well, because for us, we are not going to have, for example, the water pump, the pressure tank coming from the water cistern. Did I say the filtration system as well? The water filtration system, the hot water tank, all of that's going to go in that shed. Everything is going to be outside of the house and in one particular area where we can get to it easy enough. In case something happens, something needs to be replaced, easy access to it. Okay, that's the reason why we decided to do that. And as well, we needed an area to, well, store some things, also. There's the cistern on the left hand side, as you can see. Okay, here is another load of clay brick. When it comes to clay brick, down there, if you go directly to the factory to get it and buy it, you can get this clay brick for about 20 cents, sometimes even cheaper. It depends on where you go. Okay, I don't think you're going to get any less than 19 cents or anything like that per unit, but even 20 cents I think is quite a bit of a deal. Okay, and so we are using clay brick to do some of the things outdoors. Okay, not the main structure, just for any other thing outdoors. Okay, and I think it's pretty practical. Okay, it's definitely economical. They love using clay brick, obviously, as you can see, and it's going to look pretty good. So a load of clay brick you can see over there in the distance, that load right there, and I believe that's about 1,000 bricks or something like that, if I remember correctly. There's been a few loads of those coming up, and there will be a lot more in the future. We have a gentleman who goes and picks up and delivers the brick. He has it's a Nissan pickup truck. It's a pickup truck. It's not even a big truck or anything like that. And he will load, up to, I think, is 700 bricks, 600 or 700 bricks per load. Okay, to bring him to us. And he's such a nice gentleman. He actually happens to live very close to where we are building. That's where his house is, just a couple of blocks down the road. And he just gave us his contact number if we needed anything. Obviously, it's work for them. It's a little bit of income for him to go get us this material, and we definitely do appreciate it, and we definitely do reward that sort of effort. And the nicety about, his niceness, I guess, of offering to do things for us. So he is pretty much now our main guy to go and get us whatever material, unless it's too heavy, of course, then we'll definitely have to contract, or the builder will have to contract somebody else. So there you can see, you had a pretty good view of the porch floor and how more or less it's going to look like. Okay, so it's taking shape. Over here, he's going to give us a bit of a glimpse on how the terrace is looking. You can see all the drainage water channels down below. The grass, it's looking nice. It's coming up. Okay, very nice. Okay, the rain does help with that. And they really been taking good care of this particular area, because they wanted to ensure that the grass takes a good hold on the ground. So there you have, that's the that would be kind of like the northwest side of the property, the house. So it's taking shape. Okay, it's coming along nicely. The floors inside, well, you can see that it has rained a little bit. Okay, but the floors are now in place. At the very least, the foundation for the main floors on the inside. Okay, the shed is taking a little bit more shape, and that shouldn't really, for them, this is not going to take long at all. There's still a lot of work to be done, obviously, quite a bit of work yet, but I'm going to ensure to keep you updated on our progress. I most definitely will work harder to post more video blogs. We do have the info now, so we're gonna get it out to you. Remember that if you ever have any questions in regards to what we're doing in El Salvador, meaning how we manage to get material, where do we manage to get the material, what type of material, contractors, anything. And if you're thinking about buying and building in El Salvador, if you have questions, let us know. Ask, please. We have now accumulated, just over 2 years worth of information on what we're doing in El Salvador with this project. Right here, this is where the main fence, the front fence, perimeter fence, it's going to be built. Okay, he's showing us the concrete, where the columns, the main columns are going to be. They already have the foundation holes for it. Okay, and as you can see, they're massive. Okay, this one here it's about, if not short, just over 3 feet. Okay, for those foundations. And it's gonna look good. That's the main road that you can see on the right hand side. Okay, it's a dirt road, but up to that point, it's not really bad a road. It's drivable, not a problem. When it rains during the rainy season, some areas do tend to wash a little bit. Hence, if you look back in the video, you'll see that there's an actual drainage channel just on the right hand side of it. That is actually a recent build. Okay, we actually had to do that right over there. You can see it. Okay, to direct the water, and flow away and basically stop the damage on the road. Okay, there you have it. Right. There is the tin shed where the workers stay. Whoever stays on the weekend, usually it's about 2 or 3 guys. The builder himself tends to stay once in a while, the odd weekend. And whenever there's something that they need to finish, they'll work pretty much the entire Saturday in order to get it done. They do have, for the most part, half of Saturday. So Saturday work half day. They have Sunday off, and sometimes depending on how much overtime they've accumulated over the week, because it does happen. Okay, an hour here, an hour there, whatever. We will give them half of Monday. Sometimes we'll give them the entire Monday off. So they do have at the very least 2 days off. Okay. So as you can see, he's still showing us where the main pillars for the front perimeter fence is going to be. All of this dirt on the left hand side, this wall right here, that is going to go. Well, we come to the end of our segment. Thank you very much for watching. Remember that if you ever have any questions, please ask, post a comment, whatever. We will read it. We do get the messages, okay? And we'll be posting a lot more video blogs coming up very soon. Take good care. Give us a like if you really like this video and what we're doing in our project, and we'll see you soon, very, very soon.